What's going on, y'all? KM Best here, your favorite 69th ranked Marvel snapper, and I've got a deck that I used to a 70% win rate in High Infinite that I think is pretty well positioned right now. This is the list. It is a Darkhawk Bounce list, and the major reason I feel like this list is well positioned right now is because of the power of two of the 2-cost cards in here that I think you might be a little bit surprised to hear. First, Shadow King. Shadow King is absurdly strong right now. It's hitting all the stuff that goes under Shang-Chi. It only costs 2, and things that get very out of control, like Werewolf and Collector, they get really shut down by Shadow King. Now, playing Shadow King and Werewolf by Night in the same deck is gonna have a bit of a cost. You're gonna have to play around a bunch of stuff. Yes, sometimes it will hit the things that you basted and make them bad, but a lot of the time, this is going to be the best card in your deck on rate. There are going to be games on the back end of this where you'll see Shadow King be something along the lines of like a 213, a 215, a 218, just because of what it's getting rid of on the opponent's side of the board. I'm a huge fan of Shadow King right now. I think Shadow King and Rogue are two of the best positioned tech cards in the entire game, and Shadow King, being the cheaper one, is the one that I was able to fit in here. As far as the major strategy the deck tends to employ, it is a bounce deck, right? But also, the other 2-drop that you're getting a lot of value out of here is Black Widow. Black Widow and Beast in your opening hand is almost a snap because you're usually going to get a 1-drop to go there alongside it. You Beast on 4, you get a discounted Black Widow, you turn off 2 of their draws. Black Widow being played multiple times is unbelievable. It's a very powerful thing right now, especially because there are so many mid-range curve-out decks running around with the Miss Marvel where you're really just trying to restrict them as much as you can in terms of what they can play, in terms of their options, and then you can say, all right, I can play around the remainder of what you have in your hand, because you're not necessarily going overboard on power in a list like this. What you are doing is dragging them down to your level and then beating them when they're there. The Hood is the card in this deck that probably gives me the most sequencing problems. I think most of my misplays involve this card because it just gets hard to keep track of exactly how many cards are in your hand, whether or not you're going to bast into hitting the Hood or bast into hitting a demon, and what the correct play is in terms of raw points output, whether or not you're going to actually want to play bast on this guy, or whether you have to make the sacrifice of actually playing bast onto a demon. It happens sometimes. Now, generally, what this guy does is create a demon and be very strong. That's pretty damn good when you have Beast and Falcon as ways to get rid of him. A 1/6 is still a 1/6. There's not a lot that competes with that on rate. Making multiple 1/6s, well, that's actually pretty good, especially in the context of the other stuff in your deck, making your opponent's overpowering strategies less likely to happen. Between Black Widow and Korg, those 1/6s end up being some of the biggest units in the game a decent amount of the time. Bast is surprisingly mediocre in this list, which is to say, with the Shadow King, there's actually potentially some reason to get rid of this card, but still, most of the time that I play it, like, this card ends up getting well above rate for what it is doing. Even just hitting a Hood with this is kind of unbelievable. That's like +6 power. Very, very, very strong to do. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that you're fine hitting with it. The only thing you don't want to hit with this is Beast, and you don't really care if you hit it with Beast because it's like, oh, I lost 1 point. I'm so horrified. I'll never recover from this. One interaction you should be aware of, though, if you hit a Beast or a Demon with a Bast and you Shadow King in that lane, Shadow King will actually give it back its original power, so do keep that in mind when you play the deck if you run into that situation. Forge is excellent in this list. Getting abilities that you really want to repeat off of your 1-cost cards is a key component of this. I'm not saying he's necessarily the best card for the slot, but he's definitely the one that I like the most because the rest of your deck does so well disrupting your opponent. You need some actual power coming out of the 1-cost slot, and Forge is that power. A repeatable, effective 1/3 that can get very, very powerful when you get locations like Kamartaj. Korg puts rocks in your opponent's deck, and then you bounce it back to your hand, and then you put further rocks in your opponent's deck. When your opponent draws a rock instead of one of the other cards in their deck, they are upset, and that is our goal. I am very impressed with this card in this list. Drawing 2 cards in a deck that is willing to throw stuff away like the Hood is unbelievable. Turning the Hood into a demon can be very, very useful. Turning Forge into a demon. And there are even some situations where she gets her own double after getting a Forge buff, and she becomes like a 1/8, which is quite powerful as well. Like, there's just a lot of strong stuff that this card does, and putting her in a deck where you can recycle that ability with Beast and Falcon is a natural fit. I know there are going to be people who don't have Nico Minoru. I'm not sure exactly what you'd replace it with, but I would say my top 2 candidates are probably Spider-Ham or Iceman. I am continually incredibly impressed with Black Widow and the damage she does to decks. I only really started playing this deck because like people would Black Widow me and I would be like, oh my God, that's awful. I hate it. And so I was like, okay, if I hate it so much, maybe I should be doing something with it. And that's sort of how I ended up on this list, which has been floating around for a while. It's just been a deck sort of existing in the ether for a little bit, but I didn't necessarily think it was extremely good. It was good enough to be on my tier list, but now I'm kind of thinking this might be one of the best decks in the game, period. And Black Widow is a big part of that. Her being well positioned right now is there's multiple things that go into it, but a lot of decks just really need to do specific things, and stopping them from doing that is really good. We run 5 1-drops, all with the goal of being played multiple times per game. Falcon is one of the cards that lets us play 1-drops multiple times per game. Now, I do sometimes try to be a little bit greedy with this guy. One thing you should know about how he works is that even if Beast has made the 1-drops effectively cost 0, Falcon will still send them back to your hand. So the order you typically want to be playing them is Beast first, then Falcon, so you get more free stuff out of it. That's not a hard and fast rule, but if you can do it, that is generally how you want to do it. I've already waxed poetic a bit about how amazing Shadow King is right now, but basically in my mind, he's basically like a 2-energy Shang-Chi against like a solid 75% of the stuff you're going to play against. It is remarkable. Like, it is remarkable just how powerful this guy is. Werewolf and Collector are your primary targets, but there are plenty of others as well. Like, this guy is just good, and hitting Werewolf and Collector would be enough reason to run him, but there's just so much Werewolf now that it's just like, you don't really have a choice. Like, I think this guy, you are just priced into running him because of the amount of cards that just go get bigger. Even something like a Nebula is a fine hit for this. Like, there's so much that this guy does. I cannot recommend you cut him. Werewolf by Night is very, very big. Now, you have one very, very big guy in the form of Darkhawk in this deck already, but normally you need to find another way to make another very, very big guy, and that is the problem that Werewolf solves. You can only run one Darkhawk, so now you have second Darkhawk in the form of Werewolf. One really big guy that scales with what the deck is doing anyway. Werewolf and Darkhawk are very similar in this way. This deck wants to play Korg and Black Widow anyway, Darkhawk is a natural fit. This deck wants to play a bunch of on reveals a bunch of times, Werewolf is a natural fit. Beast discounting 1-drops is phenomenal, and Beast letting you play Black Widow twice is phenomenal. Those are mostly what you're going to be doing with it. Do keep in mind that you're kind of gonna figure out, you're gonna need to figure out pretty early on, if you have a Beast in your opening hand, what you want your Beast lane to be, and you do have to be a little bit conscious of Cosmo stuff. It's not something that's super common, but it can happen. Weirdly, Darkhawk is actually the smaller of your 2 scaling threats here, but just as a good enough payoff, he often ends up holding a Bast buff as well, which means he ends up usually like a 411 kind of range. 411, 413 tends to be where he's at. Now, there is a little bit more card draw in the game than there otherwise would have been in the past because of opposing Nico Minorus. So do keep in mind that when your opponent Nikos into drawing 2 cards against you, that is actually awful for you, and you need to respect, like, if they snap and do that, you got to be like, all right, I'm dead. Like, I'm out of here. That is a very, very, very powerful play against this list if you planned on relying on Darkhawk, and you're going to need to come up with a plan that does not rely on Darkhawk if you want to beat that kind of stuff. That said, one of the other things I noticed myself doing with this list was I'm playing a lot of Darkhawks on 5 because there is just not a lot of Shang-Chi around, and because people are playing things like Shadow King, Darkhawk on 5 is actually like a safer-ish play. Your curve is sort of weird. You often end up choosing between playing a bunch of 1/6s or playing Darkhawk Shadow King on the final turn. And so you end up having to sacrifice one of those things a decent amount of the time. And that is sort of, I think, where the skill expression of this list comes into play. Everything I've talked about here is cards that we want to have in a specific order on the early turns of the game. America Chavez makes it so we can have those cards in a specific order on the early turns of the game. Very obvious include, please don't cut her. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I've been KMBest. You've been phenomenal. We're going to jump into some gameplay footage from my stream on which I went 17-7 with this list. Phenomenal. I'm very happy with it. And as always, remember, like, subscribe, dopamine chemicals go burr when you do that kind of stuff. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. Does this deck beat Loki? That's my real and important question. Why did I play Widow? I don't know. I'm a fucking idiot. I forgot that it was -1. Okay. Can we win this? With 11? Like that? Maybe. I think we do, actually. Tiebreaker, baby. Tiebreaker, baby. Woo! Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Gave him the bite so they snapped. Easy bait. Yeah, no, it definitely was. That's what it was. I was definitely not being a moron. What happened there was definitely not me being stupid. Under no circumstances was that me being an idiot. Why don't play in Hotel Inferno? We are a Darkhawk deck. I did not playing Hotel Inferno because we are a Darkhawk deck. Damn, he drew Beast, which I think kills me. I don't even get anything out of that Black Widow. Oh, shit, I drew Beast. Okay. I don't know. I sincerely do not know. This is a lot of cards. Nico for more cards. Holy shit. They're crushing. Oh, Nico for Demon. Okay, that makes more sense. Where's your Falcon? There it is. Okay. Everything in there is now 3. So they have a bunch of 3s. Their whole hand is 3s except for 1 card. Yeah, did they throw here? I feel like they maybe threw here. I have literally no idea what I'm doing. Evidently, what I am doing is winning. Okay, solid. I have... This Darkhawk would have won here, but it would have lost the middle. The only game sober here? I mean, most of my gaming is sober, just sort of by definition. But, you know. Yeah, we keep dodging 69. It's tragic. It's kind of a wild snap, I feel like. Well, I ain't got shit for that. Mmm. We just got the Nico spell. We would have wanted it later. I'm imagining we just get Loki'd here. Shuri? What the fuck? Oh, they got it off Coulson. Okay, sure. This costs 0, right? This costs 1. So the Darkhawk is at least a 22. So kind of just putting it here. So that is 23, 25. Just putting it here wins that. I think we got him. Darkhawk, Enormous, Forge, 333. We go here, we get him. They got Shuri Skull from Coulson, yes. What they failed to ascertain was Shuri Skull from Coulson is actually just worse than doing Loki stuff. Like, look at that. Look at this crap. Literally, Shuri Red Skull off Agent Coulson, and it's still worse than if they had just played Loki on, like, turn 4. It's fucked up, honestly. I dislike Jotunheim. Let's Korg him. Nico for the 2x. I think I saved my collector. Or my Shadow King. I honestly thought about playing it there. Cards back, please. I don't like this turn very much. I do not enjoy this turn. Okay, we Black Widow them. We Demon here. All our shit moves over. And then I think what we do is we go Darkhawk here. The Hood here. And then our final turn is a variety of weird bullshit. Do we ever actually play Falcon left here? I think there was a chance we should have done that. Because of our own Shadow King likely ending up on that lane. Still, Darkhawk ends up being just straight up 12 power. Which is quite good. Okay, they Loki us. I don't know. Sure. Why not? Why not give it a try? SK left kind of tempting. I thought about it. I really did. They're going to end up with the wolf on the left, and we're going to lose it. But I think we can win the other two lanes, basically. You see where I'm going with this? I think we can win the other two lanes, basically. Oh, my God. Wow, we actually just fucked them so hard. Holy shit, Shadow King. Holy shit, Shadow King. Oh, my God. You fucking beast. Oh, my God. Shadow King with the casual 218 here. Shadow King, oh my God, with the 218 Shadow King in this. Thank you. Welcome to the besties. This is an okay Bast. Like, it's not my favorite Bast, but it gets a card down here. We start stacking stuff up. That's absurd. They didn't do that in the middle? Why didn't they do that in the middle? What am I missing? Okay. Thank you for the 3/3 Widow's Bites. Final turn is always Chavez here. I don't know if the Nico is worth it. There are so many, like the double power Nico is so broken if we get it. They're still not doing Kamartaj shit there. Okay, they just got 2 of my broken guy, unfortunately. That sucks. But we're actually about to take priority and shit on their werewolf. So that's kind of interesting. So with priority here. We have 2, 6, 7, correct? Ten. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This should work. Yeah. Got him. They thought that werewolf was going to be enormous. Instead, it is very small. If you temp dyed your hair, you could cosplay a strong guy. What the fuck? We missed it. No. A like 215 collector earlier. Can this deck fight Prof X? No, that actually is a legitimate weakness that it has. It is much worse at fighting Professor X. But Shadow King right now is just 2 energy Shang. He's just a beast. This ain't Loki. I'm trying something new. All right, we're gonna Black Widow them on 4. They're getting Black Widowed on 4 here. Oh, wait, no, they're not. We have a Darkhawk. I'm a fucking idiot. They're getting Black Widowed on 5. This is just literally for the sake of denial. Does nothing for our card draw, but is kind of funny. Fucking Nico drawing 2 cards. Broken. Yeah, we don't care about the card draw here. That's not what we're in the business of. We're not here for that. Hell yeah. We can try to draw for SK. This is like a Loki? Enchantress? Holy shit. So we have two demons, a werewolf, and a Shadow King. And the demons are very big. I'm tempted to go for like 8. These are cards. I'm not really thinking about it that hard. Who's getting the Forge buff? Great question. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Shadow King mid? No. My thought process about the mid lane was basically, if they want to win it, they have to leave the werewolf there, which means I'll put it on one of the outside lanes, because if they move the wolf out, I'm going to win it. Anyway, I repeat. Damn, son, where'd you find this? So it's like, all right, I guess we're just going to let that happen, and our job is to get rid of it as much as we possibly can. Sure. I'd like to draw like a Black Widow here. Any of the ones are good too. Ones will work. Black Widow a bit late, but it's okay. Next turn, we get Widow Falcon, which is not awful. And then we get a bunch of... Ooh, Beast doing nothing here. Good thing we see that. What are you? Add a copy to your hand. I'm not particularly interested in that, I think. We go Widow Falcon. We do Falcon. All right. Falcon over there. Iron Lad for Nebula. Solid. Okay. So we have Nico Minoru for the Hood. Wait, no, that's not the right ordering here. It's Nico Minoru for the Hood. It's Shadow King. We draw the Bast for another on reveal next turn. And Cord? So the Darkhawk is going to be pretty large. That's kind of what we were drawing for here. We have Forge Demon Darkhawk next turn. That's what we want. I see. I am confused. Yeah, I know they want to Marvel mid, but the rest of what they do is hard. Right? Because they add 13 to the Titan, which is a big problem. So they add 13 on both sides, right? Ms. Marvel. Got him. Okay. Yeah, we had to play around them adding 13 on both sides, basically, right? Because it was going to be... The one we lost to here is SK on the Titan, yes. You don't even play Shadow King! It's like the best card in the whole deck! Okay, I'm trolling, I know. You literally don't even play the best card in the deck. Dude, fuck you, Pet Mansion. I do, bro. Oh, we got you to put it in there? Good. Good. I hate this. I'm annoyed by this situation. I'll live, but I'm very annoyed that I had to make that play. Hell yes, dude. God, what a phenomenal Shadow King target that is. That's awesome. Then final turn is all these cards plus Chavez. Yep. Lambie with the raid. What's going on, dude? How's it going? How are you doing, bud? They snap me. Am I stupid here? Because the way I see it, we get Forge, Demon, Shadow King. Hold on, that's not the order we wanted in. We want, yeah, no, that's the order it has to be in, unfortunately. Forge, Demon. We lose 5 in the middle. They lose more than 5, though. I read the death. I literally read exactly the death. I was like, if I were them and I had a death, where would I put it? And I would put it on the sewer system there. God damn. Has anyone ever been as fucking clever as me right now? No. Nobody has ever been as clever as me right now. Let's fucking go. If you guys could fill out surveys for that company, the more surveys you fill out, the better the giveaway is. So if you click that thing, fill out a survey, do it for me. Fill out a bunch of surveys. Do it for me. The top 3 are in a love triangle. I'm not sure which seal on it. Sunday is top 8 for day 2. I gotcha. Okay. I see. I see. Okay, they Nico'd for 2x. We Nico'd for 2 cards. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. My 2-card Nico is so much better than their non-2-card Nico that it's actually, like, probably fucked up. In fact, I am, like, literally, I'm that confident that just drawing 2 cards is that broken. I could be wrong. Falcon in this situation is basically Beast. Oh my. Wow. Holy shit. I would like every card back, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. We still draw a card. Whoa, just dumping a... Oh, they're going to blow it up. I get it. Do I go by Shawarma? It's 4:50 a.m. Fucking probably, dude. I would. Ooh, Beast. Okay. So... the value is just too high on this play, even though it's not what I wanted. Oh, wait, no, hold on. What the fuck is going on? Why can't I play? Thank you. Shit. Ooh, lucky them. Damn. They have 0 cards in their hand right now, though. So there is that. Why play Demon? Because I want to get my Shadow King back? That seems pretty straightforward to me. That's a big null. Lose prio? I don't think it matters, actually. They have 2 cards in hand. One of them is a big Deadpool, correct? Why did I do that? Okay. Never punished for anything ever? What the fuck? What the fuck was the one remaining card in their hand that they didn't play? And there's no chance that it was a card they couldn't play. Oh my... What? What the fuck just happened? I'm confused. Widow's Bite? Oh my god.